Does Call of Duty Vanguard zombies suck? If you, like me, have watched Vanguard's launch pretty closely, you'll know that the multiplayer for Vanguard was extremely well received among the professional community. Everybody from Warzone tournament players to ex-pros to current pros have all been praising the current multiplayer system in Vanguard, which is amazing because we haven't had a very well received COD in a while, at least not on launch. And while multiplayer is getting a ton of love for shipping with over 20 maps, it looks like Vanguard Zombies got the short end of the stick. Because even though more content is promised at the end of the preseason, so the beginning of season 1, that's far away. And considering how much attention was paid to how well the multiplayer was executed, we really have to take a look at what exactly is going on with Vanguard Zombies. Because quite frankly, I don't think there's really any excuse for this. There are a lot of redeeming qualities, but with that being said, if this is your first video here, hi, my name is Pineapple, and I've been playing Call of Duty since COD 4. I remember the first Zombies map, I played the heck out of Kino, and Ascension is by far my all-time favorite Zombies map. And I even just grinded out Dark Aether in anticipation of Vanguard releasing. Okay, I might have done it for the flex in Warzone 2, but still, I'm an avid Zombies player, I have been my whole life, and I for one was personally going to go for the Mastery camo for Zombies first. That is until I played the absolute worst map I've ever seen in my entire life, Dare on Fong. This map is god awful. I get that it's technically a mode more than it is a map, and honestly, I think this map just screams wasted potential. There's a lot of things Vanguard Zombies is doing well, but the things it's doing poorly are done so poorly that it's holding back the entire experience from being any fun at all. So we're gonna start off with the things that I like, and then we'll get into the things that are very clearly wrong with it. But we need to start with the pros because otherwise this video is gonna be all negative, and we can't do that. So right out of the gate, the thing that I really enjoy about Vanguard Zombies is that there's this new Ark of the Covenant feature that gives us new perks and new abilities, and it'll help us streamline getting some of these camos done. And I always felt like the crystal system from Cold War was not implemented very well. It always felt like a secondary currency, more just there to kind of extend the shelf life of Zombies. I really like it being inside the game, where I go in and I spend my hearts or whatever they are, I guess. I really like the Ark of the Covenant because it's not outside the level. You know, it's not in a loadout menu. It's something you can go inside the game, and just like the perks, you can grab tiers of. And I think it's really good to have it inside the actual level. I know for speedrunners, it's just another thing you have to buy, but at the end of the day, I think it's a good addition to Zombies. Not only that, I think there's a lot of cool new bonuses that you can get, things that I kind of wanted in Cold War for a while. In addition to that, I think that the theming is really cool. I understand that, you know, it's Zombies and it's kind of goofy, but it seems like the team at Treyarch has a definite idea of what they're going for. That being said though, to launch without the actual content is really bizarre to me. And at the end of the day, this is all just based on keeping player numbers up. Like, you'll notice that they stagger content throughout the year that really should be there on release week. It's also why COD Champs is hosted sometimes in the middle of the year, because Activision needs to have all eyes on COD as much of the year as possible, and so they'll delay things that are really basics just to draw in the player base a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later. So even though we know why we don't have these things, it doesn't really make it any better. But yeah, I'm a really big fan of the theming. I think all the voice lines are really well done. I think that there's a lot of new stuff that they're doing here that really looks like they're trying to bridge a gap between, hey, here's a fun Zombies game mode, and hey, here's a good story, and also connecting it with everything we have from the games prior, but also setting it up in a way. I think what they're attempting to do is cool, but again, the implementation is just god awful on Dare on Fong, but we'll get to that later in the video. Another thing I really like is the tiered perk system being inside the game as well. Again, I know these are a controversial point, but I think it's cool to have them inside the game instead of, you know, in another menu. I get that it takes a little bit longer to max your camos out, but in terms of replayability for Zombies, it makes it so it's not like, oh, well, I've got everything maxed out, so I just hop in and, you know, I buy Jug once and then it's, 2,500 points and then I'm set and it's Super Jug. No, you have to get in there and you have to upgrade it. The same way you have to get in there and upgrade your gun. It just makes sense with the way that the mode is built. All that being said though, all my thoughts and opinions are based on if this was a round-based map, and it's just not. It is some goofy collection of maps with really terrible challenges built in between. Like, the challenges that you could go do in Cold War if you wanted to are almost mandatory now. You can't leave certain rooms for a minute and a half. The exfil is cheesy. There's no pack-a-punch camo. Like, I had to bring my own gold MP40 in there to feel any semblance of progression. And again, not launching with a story is just bizarre. To think that a studio that's making as many millions of dollars a day as they are can't scrape together the storyline or push something out in advance. Hell, I don't care if the actual storyline and Easter egg is all delayed, but give us a proper set of maps, like maybe 2? Multiplayer got 20 maps, and we got 1 scraped together. Like there's like 1 new area, and I'm pretty sure that new area is from the campaign, which means they built it for campaign and then ported it into zombies and added all their themed props around the area. This is not a map built from scratch for zombies at all. I will admit that Red Star works better as a zombies map than it does a multiplayer map, and I think if Red Star were fully opened and it was like a normal round-based map with like somewhere else you could go to pack a punch that was kind of hard to get to, maybe like a big outer ring around it, something like that, just a little bit bigger, I think it would work really well. But to think that there's so many multiplayer maps and so much attention paid to how well multiplayer should feel and how bright and organic all the maps work, to have these weird dark corners in Shinonuma, no Easter eggs at all, and on top of that, no real explanation from Treyarch about what's going on, I'm really shocked. Like, I can't believe that they would launch this game with such a negative talking point. Like, they had to know that people weren't gonna like this, and what I think honestly is that they were pretty confident in the mode and they wanted people to try it out. And just to note this again, they're looking to see a dip next month with the Warzone integration because everyone will be shifting over to Warzone again. So they need to have some sort of plan to get people playing Vanguard again, which I understand, but I mean, you could have just had an extra map, or you could have, you know, given a round-based map and Daronfang, because Daronfang is like literally it's the worst way to spend an hour. I've sat down 2 different times, again, as an avid Zombies fan, trying to like appreciate this mode for what it can be. I mean, hell, that's how I came up with the first half of this video, all the things that I like about it. But geez, is it boring. It feels so slow. I don't know why I have to go to a certain area of the map for the zombies to come to me. Not to mention you get kicked for inactivity if you're gone for longer than 1.5 minutes. And I've been trying to avoid that because I know it's like a patch that's coming again at the start of season 1, but like the fact that you can't pause a solo game is mind-boggling to me. It's almost like this entire zombies mode was a complete afterthought. And it really is jarring coming from how good Cold War Zombies was to see the lack of effort put in here. Yeah, I really expect my socks to be blown off when the new season comes out because there's no reason to play zombies right now at all. I mean, obviously, if you're somebody who wants to grind the camos, you can hop in and do so, and believe you me, I want to grind the camos too. It's just that thinking about trying to get 4,000 pack-a-punch kills on Daronfang makes me not want to play the game at all. And again, I want to stress, I'm an avid zombies player. Like, I play this a lot. I'm a big fan of the genre, and I went into Daronfang being like, okay, I know it's not round-based, but let's see what it has to offer. And at the end of the day, it was definitely the most boring 1.5 hours or 2 hours, whatever it was, of my life. I went to multiplayer, grinded out the MP40, got it to gold, and then was like, you know what, let me try it one more time. Went back in, and honestly, it's just not it. But again, just to recap, I think all of these features built into a proper round-based map would be stunning, and I'm down for it, and I'm sure it's coming at some point. I know a couple of content creators out there that are worried there won't be a round-based map ever, and I gotta tell you, there will definitely be a round-based or typical zombies map at some point during the release cycle, but we have no way of knowing if that's going to be with season 1 or even deeper. So while I'm hoping this really is just to get the numbers up in a few months, I gotta tell you, I really am shocked that they shipped this. Obviously, I'm not a game developer, I don't have a ton of experience in that field, so I have no idea how hard it is to build a map or how hard it is to do any of these things, but to launch multiplayer with 20 maps and have one like kind of Frankenstein zombies map with weird objectives and no clear-cut story is just, I mean, it was so surprising to me that I made a YouTube video about it, if that gives any indication. So all in all, I think at the end of the day, we've got a lot of cool content coming down the pipeline for zombies, but as it sits right now, I would pretend like zombies doesn't exist. Just pretend like the zombies mode comes out in season 1, and you'll be stoked. Just act like this is like some weird trial run beta version of zombies, because my god, is it a swing and a miss. That being said, let me know in the comment section down below if you've played Fong, what you thought of it, and how you think that the Treyarch team could improve on zombies. Do you like the Ark of the Covenant? Do you like the new tiered perks? I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you for all the love yesterday on the 7 mistakes new Vanguard players make. That was our first multiplayer video for Vanguard, and it did super well, so I'm really excited about it, and it's a pleasure to have all of you here on the channel. Again, my name has been Pineapple. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and make sure you subscribe for more of the best of Vanguard. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.